It says I'm live, apparently. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sunday night quiz, live from Nick's Lounge. What could be better? Well, I've been away for the last few days since Wednesday. We've enjoyed a Thursday, Friday, Saturday away, but back to do the quiz on a Sunday. And first off, let's just go through some congratulations from last Sunday. Last week's winners were PRS on a remarkable full house last week. They didn't drop a point, 60 points out of possible 60. I must have made the quiz far too easy. They were closely followed by Split the Difference on 59 points. Then we had in third place Harry, Julie and Ian on a fantastic 58 points. In fifth equal place we had the Ridgeways on 57, along with the Rugby Rotary Club on 57 points. So congratulations to those teams. They were our top 5 winners last week. So basically the score PRS have got a lot to live up to tonight. I've tried to put in some tricky questions, certainly in the last round, the trivia round, just to trip them up a bit and see whether we can catch them out 1 or 2 in that round. Other than that, we have 6 rounds of general trivia as normal. Why isn't my chat working? Is anybody chatting? Anybody? Have you got any chat at the moment, Lit? I haven't got anything. Yes, I have. Right, so I thought everybody had gone deaf or something. Right, Martin's just logged in. We've got 22 teams logged in so far, but the only person who put any chat on, I've got Martin Davis has just put evening from Martin and Tina in sunny Dunchurch. So good evening to you. Hope all is well with you and Tina. Robin Miller's put chat. Yes, the chat column, Robin, that's what it's there for. John Potter, hi Nick, how the devil arse today? Well, we didn't go to the devil arse, but no, we're feeling fine, thank you very much. We've had a splendid 3 days away, trekking the country, finding some new pubs. Right, Ridgeways are checking in. I hope, Anthony, you realise that I've already mentioned the Ridgeways, who were in joint 5th place last week with a fantastic 57 out of a possible 60 points. So that's some going. Mick and Bev have just joined us. Good evening, Mick. Good evening, Bev. Hope all is well with you too. And what has your week brought you? I don't know. We'll be interested to know. Well, of course, with a trip away, it was a chance to test my new electric vehicle out up the motorway and back. We managed a total of 400 and odd miles. Thankfully, not on one charge, you'll be pleased to know. But we had some good fun until today. But never mind, I'll go on that later. Right, Ian Anthony Jones, they've just signed in. So we've got Don Quizzotti signing in from Manchester and London, respectively. Good evening to them, man. Good evening to Michelle, who's just said good evening. Crick signing in on my own at present, oh dear. So we'll be challenging. No, it won't be that challenging. Not to you, Michelle. I'm sure you'll be able to whoop quite a few all on your own without any problem whatsoever. Hope you had a nice trip. We did. Thought you were doing quiz from Derbyshire. Well, I think yes, it's possibly planned for an evening from Derbyshire, but we'll see about that as we go. But never mind. Right, Andrew Lewis. The Lewises have just signed in from Yelvertoft. What's that? Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6 are here with the Jobs playing from Whitby tonight. Fantastic. Well, we went to Whitby on Friday and couldn't get in. It was chock-a-block. We thought we'd get the park and ride in. We gave up on that and thought, no, we'll drift down. But there were so many people in Whitby that we decided to give up because all the car parks were full and there was no social distancing whatsoever down by the quayside there. So we decided to clear off, but never mind. I'm sure it's settled down by now, thankfully. So we went to Robin Hood's Bay, and that was just as bad, but never mind. We ended up in Scarborough, and that was fabulous. So what the hell? Right, we've got Lisa Lasky signing in. So we've got afternoon, she's saying, Team UK and USA. So we've got a joint team, UK, USA. Lisa and the gang have just signed us in, and Diane, Alex, Pinky and Perky, all present and incorrect, ready to go tonight with the quiz. Right, let me just run through the rounds. Before we go any further, and good evening, Chris. Hope all is well with you. Hope you had a good night last night. I captured you on camera from sunny Ashover, but never mind. I have my spies, you know what it's like. Right, round number 1 tonight is just entitled Sunday the 2nd. Round number 2 is a connections round. All the only AJB, the tweenies have just joined us. Good evening to you and hope all is well with you. Round number 3 is an initial letter link. Round number 4 is a straightforward music round tonight. Very unusual for me, but it's straightforward music round. Round 5, again, a straightforward geography round. And finally, round number 6 tonight, it will be a testing tricky trivia round. Vanessa's just joined us. Good evening, Vanessa. Hope all is well from sunny Burton-upon-Trent. And hope you and the family are all keeping well. And let's see how you fare tonight in tonight's dead easy quiz tonight. Nothing challenging whatsoever. Yes, you're right, Robin. There was plenty of good. We went inland in the end. We gave up with trying to get down to the coast. It did seem a little bit too busy and a bit too packed. So we went on to Grossmont and then into, where else did we go out? There were a number of places. It was very nice, pleasant inland trip to Scarborough in the end. But yeah, we trolled about a bit in the car, not knowing where we were going half the time, but never mind. Right, Squeaky Bob just joined us. Hello, Neil. Tracy are both here. I'm washing up at the moment. Hope to be ready soon. Well, let's hope so. We've got the dishwasher on at the moment. Same thing, but never mind, it's different. Good evening to Matthew. Hope all is well with you. PRS signing in Claire and Mum in Cumbria. Robin and Matthew in Rugby. Oh, fantastic. So we've got a bit of joint. Even a tougher team tonight then, is it, Matthew? Because as I recall last week, you didn't drop a point. So let's see whether PRS can keep up their winning ways with a fantastic full house tonight. But let's see how we go. Matthew, how's the power generation? Going well, Matthew. Earned a few bob, certainly while we're away, but very impressive, the car. I was quite impressed with it, I have to say. Right, Great Whites have just joined us. Toronto here, Avic hangover. Oh dear, such jetstone. Oh, that's fair play. Oh dear, oh dear. So good evening from Toronto. Hope all is well with you. I think you'll find there is the odd candidate question in the quiz tonight if you're lucky, but we will see. Jed and Tracy have just joined us from Burton-on-Trent. So I hope all is well with you and the family, and ready to do another exciting Sunday night quiz. Right, we've got 51 teams now logged on. Graham Gifford, Graham and Jane are reporting for duty from Cambridge, sunny Cambridge. Hope all is well with you and the family. And I don't know whether you got my brother Steve coming to join tonight, and maybe we'll see whether the Pews join us a bit later. Pick a Mix have just joined, as have Kevin Kiernan and Rotary Club of Rugby. Have you got John Lewis playing tonight or not? I'm just asking, because I've just been reading the Rotary newsletter, and I did the what do you call it, crossword, but I forgot to give it in. But there was one clue I wanted to just double check on to make sure I got it right after all. But I'll have to find that and let you know. Sarah's just joined us from Worcester, so good evening, Sarah, Ross, and the gang. What are we? We're having a few technical problems at the moment, but we'll hopefully be ready at 8:15. Well, we've got a good connection this end. I've got a good 70 meg connection tonight, so it's not looking too bad. Mark Ganderton's just joining us live from Cambridge with Linda. Well, lovely to see you, Mark. My brother Steve, as I've said, sometimes joins in the quiz, and he lives just outside Cambridge in a village called Toft, so he's not far from you. And we've also got Graham and Jane Gifford, who are also joining us live from Cambridge. So we may have 3 teams from Cambridge tonight, but we'll see. Lisa's just saying it's a balmy 33 degrees centigrade in Northern California at the moment, but I'm not moaning. Well, the wife's had my air conditioning on this afternoon. He was moaning it was too hot this evening, should we say. Well, it was this afternoon. All right, 4:30, whatever. Jen's just joining us from sunny Lincoln. Good evening to you. Hope all is well with you, Jen. Keeping well. And ready to do battle, are we, tonight? We will see. I will just quickly go over last week's winners again. I did at the beginning, but I just in first place last Sunday were PRS. They didn't drop a point. They ended up with 60 points. In second place, just dropping 1 point, we have split the difference on 59 points. In third place last week, we had Harry, Julie and Ian on a fantastic, very respectable 58 points. Then we had two teams which were joint fifth. The Rugby Rotary Club dropping just 3 points on 57 points. And we had the Ridgeways on 57 points. So it was very well played, everybody, last week. So we just had Jill Pugh. So Steve and Jill have joined us from Cambridge. So we've got 3 teams from Cambridge tonight. So hiya from Toft. Thanks. Lovely to see you, Jill. Hope all is well with you. And Steve and Anderson. Anne and Dave are here. Very warm in Essex tonight, is it? Oh, yeah, I expect it's warmer than here in Rugby. Temperature has dropped a bit tonight, but I say, wasn't it? It was very balmy on, was it Friday night, Hans, when the thunder came? We were in Scarborough and we'd gone into this big pub and it was lovely and warm and the sky was clear when we went in. But half an hour later, my wife said, "What's that noise? What's that noise?" And I said, "Oh, it's somebody in the cellar rolling barrels about." But of course, it wasn't that at all. It was some severe thunder. And we went outside. Thankfully, it kind of subsided for a bit and let us walk on into town for something to eat without getting soaked. And then we managed to get a taxi back when it was absolutely pouring down later, but never mind. Right, we just have a couple of minutes to go. So let me just recap on the rounds tonight. We start off with round number 1. It will be entitled Sunday the 2nd, where you use the first letters and or numbers of the first 10 letters of Sunday the 2nd. That's O2ND, of course. Round number 2 is a connections round. 9 general knowledge questions where question 10 asks for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Round number 3 is an initial letter link where we take the initial letter of each answer. And again, final question in that round asks you to rearrange those letters and spell out something, which is fairly straightforward. All right, Harry, Julie and Ian have just joined us. As I said last week, they were in third place last week with a very creditable 58 points. So come on, Harry, Julie and Ian, let's see whether we can go one better tonight. Round number 4 tonight is a straightforward music round. There's no playing anything or me singing anything. It's just general knowledge questions on music. Round number 5 tonight will be a straightforward geography round, and finally there will be a tricky trivia round just to finish us off. Oh, I noticed Ian Barker, any idea when we can go back in the pub, Nick? Not as yet, Ian, but we'll see. We will see. I might be able to do a live quiz. Yeah, we might be going back into lockdown again, but we'll see. Nikki Bowser just said hello with lovely cheese and onion sandwich with tiger bread. Hello, Jim, as well. Fantastic. Well, you could leave the onion out, and I'm sure I'd like it with some cheese and pickle, but I'm not a great fan of raw onion, but never mind. Chili Willie and Joe have just joined us. And Chili Willie, I didn't mention, you managed 6th place last week. Chili Willie and Joe, you ended up on 56 points. You'd only dropped 4 points in the whole quiz. So I hadn't mentioned you, but as you have joined tonight, you ended up in 6th place last week, which was very creditable indeed. Right, a couple of minutes to go, and then we will get on with tonight's quiz. I better bring it up in the top here. So, as I said earlier, round number 1, question number 1 will start with the letter S, followed by the letter U, N, D, A, Y, O, 2, N, D. Pretty straightforward in that order. Just weak it up to the top of the screen a bit. Right, we've got 66 teams have joined us at the moment. There's a couple of minutes, as I say, a minute to go, and then we'll crack on with the quiz. Now, if everybody wants to go and get themselves a drink, maybe some nibbles if you want, get yourselves ready for an hour and a bit of me waffling about nothing and hopefully keeping you entertained for the evening. So I want to know, how long is this lockdown going to go on for? It appears things are going to get worse again rather than better. Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. Are you on your own tonight, or have you got a bit of a team, the lads joining you? Where did we come? Rugby Rotary Club last week were 5th equal on 57 points, with the Ridgeways, who were also on 57 points. We have PRS, who didn't drop a point. They were on 60. Split the difference, 59. We had Harry, Julian, Ian on 58, and then the Rugby Roach Club and Anthony Ridgway were on 57, followed by Chili Willie and Joe on 56. So that was last week's scores. Right, good evening, Alex. Hello, I'm back in rugby and teaming up with Mum against the only AJB. Here we go, the Tweeners. Right, are we ready to go? It is now 2015. We have 69 teams currently taking part. Mike Yates is with Team Woody Chewbacca. Excellent. Here we go then. So question number 1, starting with the letter S as in Sunday. Question number 1, few clues in this one to get you going. Which video game developer has its origins in a company called Service Games of Japan, which was dissolved in 1960? If you read the question, there's a few clues in that. So which video game developer has its origins in a company called Service Games of Japan, which was dissolved in 1960? Remember, that's got to start with the letter S. Letter S. That's fair enough. Did he get to bed in the end or not? Question number 2, starting with the letter U, as in Sunday. With operations in over 100 cities in 15 countries in the Middle East, Africa, South Asia, and South Asia even, Kareem is a subsidiary of which American company? Don't think too hard. So question 2 again, with operations in over 100 cities in 15 countries in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, Kareem is a subsidiary of which American company? I'm pretty sure I've got the app on my phone. What, Kareem? You were trying to use Kareem in... I was figuring out why it wouldn't work, actually. I was trying to use it in Scarborough, but it didn't seem to want to work. All right, question number 3, starting with the letter N. Again, don't think too hard. What is the name of the only city in the United Kingdom that apparently has no Anglican cathedral? So question 3 again, what is the name of the only city in the United Kingdom that apparently has no Anglican cathedral? Obviously, the N will help you narrow it down somewhat. How's Sonny Whitby tonight, Roy? Are you managing to put any? I don't suppose you can chat, can you? Are you connected by video link to your team in Crick, or are you running the show from up north? Right then, question number 4 is a 2-word answer. I'm after a 2-word answer. In which 2010 3D computer animated comedy film do the main characters visit a theme park called Super Silly Funland? So 2-word answer beginning with the letter D. So in which 2010 3D super animated comedy film do the main characters visit a theme park called Super Silly Funland? It's just the kind of thing you'll all have watched, I'm sure. Well, the kids might have watched it. Question number 5 starts with the letter A. A leading figure in the visual art movement. Which American artist's studio was known as the Factory? It's a 2-word answer. So a leading figure in the visual art movement. Which American artist's studio was known as the Factory? Apparently. I'm sure 1 or 2 of you have probably been there. Question number 6, a good old naval question, this one. What is a horizontal bar on the mast of a ship? It is thought that when the sun passed it at a certain time of the day, sailors were allowed to drink. It's a one-word answer starting with the letter Y. So what is a horizontal bar on the mast of a sailing ship even? It is thought that when the sun passed it at a certain time of the day, sailors were allowed to drink. Though I very much doubt it, but there you go. They might have been up very early, you don't know, do you? Question number 7 starts with the digit 0. So question 7, what is the 4-digit area dialing code used for the city of Birmingham? So question 7 again, what is the 4-digit area dialing code used for the city of Birmingham? Although that's not technically right, because it's only a 3-digit code, but never mind. It's a bit confusing when I read that. Starts with a 0. Question number 8, a 2-digit answer I'm after. Starting with the number 2. How many letters would you find in the Spanish alphabet? It's the same number of books in the New Testament and the number of bones in the human hand, which of course we all know differs from the foot. So how many letters would you find in the Spanish alphabet? It is the same as the number of books in the New Testament and the number of bones in the human hand. Plenty of clues there. You've got to know one of those, surely. Right, we're all keeping up so far. Not going too fast, am I? Too slow? Question number 9, starting with the letter N, as in second. Which month's name is derived from the 9th month of the old Roman calendar? That's not too tricky. So which month's name is derived from the 9th month of the old Roman calendar? So I've given you the letter N. It's not too tricky to work that one out. Yeah, they're in Cambridge. And finally, starting with the letter D, what make of car is used as a time machine in Back to the Future series of films? What make of car is used as a time machine in the Back to the Future series of films? All you've got to think of is a motor manufacturer, beginning with the letter D, of course. Right, that's round number 1 out the way. I'm expecting a few straightforward 10 out of 10s on that round. However, a good score will be 8. We'll see. We'll wait and see how you all fare. Nice quote there, Martin. Remember, Marty McFly. Don't ever set it to 2020. God dear. He'd have flown into a pandemic and wonder what the hell was going on, wouldn't he? Now, as various parts of the country have gone back into lockdown again, certainly up north, it seems we were near York, and it seemed to be half of Yorkshire, a bit of Lancashire, all the way across from Manchester, really, right the way across the Pennines. Most of the big cities all seem to be locked down or getting bad. Rotherham, Oldham, yeah, loads of them. Huddersfield. So we met somebody from Barnsley, didn't we? They got it. I didn't reckon it was bad there, so maybe we go to Barnsley instead. Right then, here we go. Here are the answers to the first round. Question number one: which video game developer? Well, I was after Sega. First two letters of both service and games, of course. Service and games gives you Sega. Number two, Kareem is a subsidiary of Uber. Uber, of course. Number three, apparently the only city without an Anglican cathedral is Nottingham. Number four, the 3D computer animated comedy film I was after was called Despicable Me. Despicable Me, we've all heard of it. Maybe we didn't all get that, but never mind. A leading figure in the visual art movement, of course, it was Andy Warhol, that had a studio called Factory. Number six, if the sun passes the yardarm was what I was after. The yardarm, a horizontal bar on the mast of a ship. Number seven, the dialing code for the city of Birmingham is 0121. Number eight, there are 27 letters in the Spanish alphabet. There are 27 books of the New Testament, and also there are 27 bones of the human hand. Number nine, I was after the month of November. And find number 10, it was that time machine, of course, was a DeLorean, So well in if you've got those. Right then, let's have some scores in, see how you've fared. I'm expecting, as I say, most people should be scoring 8, 9 or 10 somewhere in that round. So, Chili, Willie and Joe are on a fantastic 8 points. Great Whites from Toronto on 9. That's an excellent score. Who else have we got scoring at the moment? Famous Five straight in there. John O'Rourke and the Famous Five with the fantastic 10. Squeaky Pop on 9. Martin Davis on 9. Charlie back now on 8. Well done, Michelle. Twins are on 7. Graham Gifford and the gang are on 7. Home Alone and the Home Alone 6 are on 8. Pick and Mix are on 9. Mick Roberts is on 7. Andrew Lewis, that's a bit of a shame. Andrew on 6. Never mind, a bit stronger next round, I'm sure. Jill's on 7. Alex Brown's on 8. Mark Gamilton, Brainy Cambridge with 4. Come on, Mark. Have you been drinking again? I'm sure you probably have. Nicky Bowers on 8. Jed and Tracy on a fantastic 9. We've got Don Quizzotti on 10. Vanessa's on 7. We've got Harry, Julian, Ian on 9. PRS on 10. Ian Miller's on 8. Footy Vox 86 are on 5. Mike Yates is on 6. And the Rugby Road Club are on 8. We've got Jen Corson on 9. Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 7. Split the difference are on 9 points. Any more scores to come in? So we've got we got Anna Anderson on 6. Team USA UK, they're on 8 out of 10. I thought it was 10 there, but it's 8 out of 10. So we've got some very respectable scores there. Let's have a look. We've got Split the Difference on 9. We've got Jen on 9. We've got PRS on 10. Harry, Julian, Ian on 9. Don Quizzotti on 10. Any more 9s and 10s? Yeah, Pick and Mix are on 9. We got Martin Davis on 9, Squeaky Pop on 9, the Famous Five on 10, and Great White on 9. So they're the top scores at the moment. So very well done. I'm just expecting Mark, Ganderton, and the gang. Come on, you two. What are you doing in Cambridge anyway? I'd be interested to know. Obviously visiting, but have you been to any of the pubs? Are any of them open? I'm sure you've done a little trip into town. Right then, connections round. Round number 2 is a connections round. 9 general knowledge questions, where question number 10 asks you to find a connection between the previous 9 answers. Okay, question number 1, dead easy this one, I'm sure. Which Formula 1 driver won today's Formula 1 Grand Prix despite suffering a puncture on the last lap? So which Formula 1 driver won today's Formula 1 Grand Prix despite suffering a puncture on the last lap? 2-word answer, not too tricky, that one. Right, question number 2 is a 1-word answer. I have to say I didn't check it. I kind of knew it, but I hope it's what everybody else puts down. Question number 2. What is the oldest known name for the island of Great Britain? So question 2. What is the oldest known name for the island of Great Britain? As I say, that's just a one-word answer I'm after. Oh, Chile didn't want to know the results. Sorry, Chile. Well, I haven't told you the results, have I? It'll be in the answers. I could, of course. I'll see what I can do with that one, Chile. You'll have to just close your ears and not read it, won't you? Question number 3. Which 1986 film was advertised using the tagline, "He survived the most hostile and primitive land known to man. Now all he's got to do is make it through a week in New York"? That's a 2-word answer. It's a good old film, that one. Which 1986 film was advertised using the tagline, "He survived the most hostile and primitive land known to man. Now all he's got to do is make it through a week in New York"? Now, do remember we're looking for a connection between all these answers, so if you're lucky, you've already worked a connection out. Question number 4, this is a bit trickier. Published in 1992, who wrote the biography of Princess Diana called Diana, Her True Story? So, published in 1992, who wrote the biography of Princess Diana called Diana, Her True Story? That's a 2-word answer I'm after for that. Has anybody been out on hedgehog patrol tonight? Getting to that time of night. What about you, Ian? Question number 5. This is another tricky one. Generating over $6 billion in toy sales, which group of American superheroes were based on a series of Japanese legends called Super Sentai? That's a 2-word answer. So question 5 again, generating over $6 billion in toy sales, which group of American superheroes were based on a series of Japanese legends called Super Sentai? What's that? Somebody sprayed mine with pink spray? What, the hedgehog? Can't believe that. Don't you start giving clues away, Lydia. Good. Well, you glad you got them checked out. Why on earth would you do that? Well, it's better than shooting, I suppose. Very strange indeed. Right, question number 6. Who is one of the 6 main fictional characters of the NBC sitcom Friends? He is portrayed by David Schwimmer and is noted for his goofy but lovable demeanour. How do I say Schwimmer? Is that right? Schwimmer. As in swimmer, but Schwimmer. Right, sorry. Schwimmer. I'll pronounce that correct next time around. So, who is one of the 6 main fictional characters of the NBC sitcom Friends? He is portrayed by David Schwimmer and is noted for his goofy but lovable demeanour. Sounds a bit like some of my friends. It could be fluorescent spray, that's true, so you could see them at night. Yes. Question number 7, listen carefully. Henry Morton Stanley found which famous person on the 10th of November 1871 near Lake Tanganyika in present-day Tanzania? So question 7 again. Henry Morton Stanley found which famous person on the 10th of November 1871 near Lake Tanganyika in present-day Tanzania? Looking like a good bit of old history in that somewhere. Not old history, fairly new history. That's my avenue. What, Tanganyika Avenue or Tanzania Avenue? Can't be Tanganyika Avenue. Could be Morton. Stanley. I live in Sydney Road, opposite Stanley Road in Hillmorton. Question number 8. Listen carefully. Thomas Bruce was better known as the 7th Earl of Ware. He was responsible for the removal of about half of the surviving sculptures of the Parthenon from 1801 to 1812. Everybody will have heard of him. Of course, the British government a lot of grief on this one, but never mind. Over the years. So question 8 again. Thomas Bruce was better known as the 7th Earl of Ware. He was responsible for the removal of about half of the surviving sculptures of the Parthenon from 1801 to 1812. Oh, Mark's just saying spoons, not insisting on track and trace last week. Been in media too. Was that in Cambridge or in Norwich, Mark? I'm sure spoons some places would. It very much depends. Place to place, they're all different. Every pub seems to be quite different in the way they're doing track and trace. Oh, that was Norwich, yeah. I do see Wetherspoons, however, Mark, were offering this £10 off a meal on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, if you want. But apparently starting this week, yeah. Question number 9. What is the name of the orangutan who appears alongside Clint Eastwood in the films Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can? So one-word answer I'm after. So what is the name of the orangutan who appears alongside Clint Eastwood in the films Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can? And finally, of course, question number 10. What is the connection between the previous 9 answers? That says 7 now. What is the connection between the previous 9 answers? McDonald's doing a £10 deal. It's probably the best thing, isn't it? 4 burgers for free. The Lawrence Sheriff Pub didn't do track or trace. It's difficult. I mean, we've been in 1 or 2 pubs. As I say, Ange and I just been away for 3 days, and 1 or 2, they're very strict. They meet you at the door and you have to give them name, address, telephone number. Others are just asking for name and telephone number. Others are asking you to write it down on a piece of paper and put it in a box. Some have got a poster on the wall that you have to just scan your phone with, which is all right. Not quite sure how that works, but it does. And as you say, there are others that just don't seem to be bothered at all, and you can wander in and have a pint and wander back out again. In fact, we were in Tadcaster yesterday, lunch, had a quick pint, and we just wandered in and wandered back out. They never asked, take a number or whatever. Right then, how long do we need? These rounds are normally a bit tricky to work out. Has everybody managed to get a connection here? And if you've got a connection, you might be able to work the other ones backwards. I'm sure Mick Roberts would have got the connection. He's good on these. Right, do we need any more time, or are we ready to do some marking? We'll give you a bit more if you need it. Are you done? You're right, it is disgraceful. I think one of the biggest problems, Robin, is the fact that pubs are not really given proper, clear instructions. If we're all told to do exactly the same thing, we'd all do the same thing. Unfortunately, they're not. They're given some kind of half-baked solution. Oh, you've got to do a bit of track and trace. Well, what does that mean? Can't somebody tell us how to do it properly or something? And of course, if that's if we had a proper track and trace system in hand. Right then, let's go back to the beginning of the connections round. Question number one, the Formula One driver who won the Grand Prix despite suffering a puncture on the last lap. Well, unfortunately, I can't give you that answer because Chilly Willy has not watched the Grand Prix. But everybody knows what the answer is. It starts with the letter L, and the second initial starts with the letter H. Well, I will give you. It's Lewis Hamilton, of course. Number two, what's the oldest known name for the island of Great Britain? Apparently that was Albion. Question number three, which film was advertised with that tagline? It was Crocodile Dundee, of course. He had to see whether he could spend a week in New York. Number four, the publisher of that biography was Andrew Morton. Well done if you remember that. Question number five, generating 6 billion in toy sales. This was a tricky one. It was the American superheroes who were known as the Power Rangers. I'm sure you've all heard of Power Rangers. Number six was Ross, as in Ross Geller in Friends. Number seven, I was after Henry Morton Stanley, of course, that journalist. I think he went off and he found, he tracked David Livingstone down. He tracked David Livingstone. Number eight, of course, he was the 7th Earl of Elgin, as in the Elgin marbles, which are still on display even now in the British Museum, I think. Number nine was the name of the orangutan I was after, was Clyde. And of course, you put the connection together. They are all something to do with Scottish football teams. Hamilton, Albion, Morton, Hearts, Rangers, Ross. You get the idea. So something to do with Scottish football teams will score you an extra point. So well done if you got that. What did actually Robin do? People not being bothered to put the system in place. You're quite right. Right then, we have Chilly Will and Joe scoring fantastic 9. That equals 17. We've got the Rugby Road Club on 18 points. Michelle's on 17. Jed and Tracy, great score on 19. Squinky Popper on 16. Ian Miller's on 18. Grant Gifford's on 17. Anthony Ridgway and the Ridgways are on 17. Martin Davis on 18. Pick and Mixer on 18. Andrew Lewis, faring a little better that time, Andrew, on 14. Nicky Bowers on 17. We've got Home Alone 6 on 17. Tweenies are on 15. Don Quixote are on 19. Jen Coulson is on 14. Jill Hughes on 16. We've got Great White on 17. PRS, oh dear, it's getting like last week. Yet to drop a point on 20 points. Harry Jr. here on 19. We've got the Famous Five also on 20 points. Vanessa from Burton's on 15 points. Split the difference from 19. Mark Ganston, Undergraduates. That's a good name for a team. The Undergraduates on 9. Is that 9 in total, Mark? Or is that, 4 and a 5, possibly 9. Mike Yates is on 13. Alex Brown's on 16. Mick Roberts on 15. Team USA on 18 points. That's a good score. Footy Fox on 9. Footy Fox 86 on 9. Any other scores to come in, or are we about there? Right, we're holding steady with about 70 teams taking part tonight. So got some good competition out there. Some very good competition. Oh, we've got a couple more coming in. Pinky and Perky on 14, and Anne Anderson also on 14 points. Right then, the initial letter link's a little bit like the last round. I ask a question number 9. Basically, they're 9 general knowledge questions where I ask you to take the initial letter of each of your answers and rearrange and spell something out. Russell Anstey on a fantastic 17 points. Well done, Russell. Right then, Vanessa, I'm trying Nick on my own. That's really good. Come on, Vanessa. What you need is a couple of teammates to join you. I would say in the pub, but there's no good, is it? You're not allowed there. Right then, here we go. This isn't too tricky to get you going. What 2-word phrase starts the titles of Roger Hargreaves' books that were part of an accompanying series to his Mr. Men books, but feature female characters instead of male ones? Russell's part of, of course. Russ and Sarah and Worcester. Fantastic. Right, what 2-word phrase starts the titles of Roger Hargreaves' books that were part of an accompanying series to his Mr. Men books, but featured female characters instead of the male ones? So it's a 2-word answer. What were the name of those book series? So, Russ, have you been left on your own then, or what? Or are you just quickly typing in before Sarah can get hold of she probably can't get hold of the keyboard or the mouse or something. Oh, she's gone off to get a drink, has she? Question number 2 is a very straightforward anagram. Very straightforward anagram. Are we ready with this? Notice that's Notice. A, as in a, swan, SWAN. Notice a swan is an anagram of which famous person from history? A few hundred years ago. So notice a swan is an anagram of which famous person of history? Technical difficulties continue. Have you just got a bad connection tonight, then, Russ, or what? I think we've got a pretty good connection this end. Has anybody else got bad connections tonight, or is it just technical difficulties? Depends what you're watching it on, of course, I suppose. I don't know. Have you not got a telly you can watch it on? You might be able to. You'd have to have a smart telly, obviously, one that's connected to the internet. Or maybe an iPad, iPhone. I know it's tricky. Right, question number 3. There's a film that I stupidly watched last year, which I thought was a load of rubbish, but never mind. Tony Stark is the alter ego of which superhero? So Tony Stark is the alter ego of which superhero? Oh, I haven't seen Tracy's bit. What's she put? Oh, no, it's not an anagram round. You're all right. Martin Davis loved it. You liked it as well. God, that was a load of old dribble. Personally, but there you go. Lydia liked it as well, Martin. Maybe you and Lydia want to go to the pictures together. Dear God. Right, sticking with films, let's see whether you know this one. What is the only James Bond film that has none of the letters from Ian Fleming in its title? That's a tricky one. That's a one-word answer. So what is the only James Bond film that has none of the letters from Ian Fleming in its title? And to help you, it's a one-word answer. So it can't be The Man with the Golden Gun, which unfortunately I watched part of this afternoon. Dear God. Scaramanga. That was dribble as well. Mind you, I didn't realise it was 1975, I think it was, which puts it about 40 odd years ago. Right, hopefully you've worked out the name of that one-word answer, James Bond film, containing none of the letters of Ian Fleming. So question number 5. Which fictional character has a female companion called Jane and a chimpanzee called Cheetah? So which fictional character has a female companion called Jane and a chimpanzee called Cheetah? Not too tricky, that one. Question number 6, as that was a bit too easy. Of all the letters used in Roman numerals, which comes last alphabetically? Again, not too tricky, that one. So of all the letters used in Roman numerals, which comes last alphabetically? Question number 7. How good are you at French? We'll see. Which company who make yogurt and fromage frais have a French name that translates as Little Rascals? So which company who make yogurt and fromage frais have a French name that translates as Little Rascals? I'm sure most of you will be able to work out little, but whether you can work out rascals is a different one. Right, what beer are we all on tonight? That's a 2-word answer, that, Graham, yes. Is number 2 2-word? Wait a minute, is number 2 2-word? Yes, number 2 is 2 words. I wasn't supposed to give you that clue, but never mind. It's a 2-word answer, that one, yeah. Hobgoblin Gold, says Martin. Excellent. Question number 8. Which group recorded the album Always and Forever? The first album by a female group to sell over 1 million copies in the United Kingdom. Some record. There we have it. So which group recorded the album Always and Forever? The first album by a female group to sell over 1 million copies in the United Kingdom. Ian Barker's on Jaipur. Very nice. Got Budweiser Budvar. That's a nice drink. Hobgoblin Ruby. Yeah, we had a Jaipur in York, didn't we? I'm on atomic strike tonight. Very nice point. Question number 9. Listen carefully. What is the most populated city in the country of Canada and the 4th most populous city in North America? Apparently. So what is the most populated city in the country of Canada and the 4th most populous city in North America? I'm sure there's one team that should get that, if not 2 teams at least. And finally, question 10. This will link them all together. Listen carefully. The first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which singer who has the real name of Victoria, but for the first part of her stage name, used a nickname her mother gave her as a baby. So her mother never called her Victoria, she called her this. So the first letters, the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which singer, who has the real first name of Victoria, but for the first part of her stage name used a nickname her mother gave her as a baby. And it's a 2-word answer, and it's 9 letters in all. So rearrange those letters, see whether you can come up with the name of that female singer. Right, I'll give you a minute to think about it, well, a couple of minutes to think about that, because that's not an easy one. Ian Davis from the Rugby Rotary Club will know that straight away. He might do. Do remember it's a 2-word answer, totaling 9 letters in all. So for all those that haven't done this before, take the initial letter of each of your answers, rearrange them, see whether you can spell out a female singer, the 2-word name, a total of 9 letters in her 2 names, of course. How are we doing, Liz? How are you doing for beer, Ange? All right. I bet Ken got that one straight away, didn't he? He's old Ian playing. And? Oh, isn't he? So has he joined the team now? I'm going to thank him for the charging the car up. No. Oh dear. I'm just finding him up, of course. So then I will give you another exact minute on this. Does anybody need any longer than a minute, or are we just about all work this one out? Remember to take first letters of your first 9 answers, rearrange them and see whether you can come up with a female artist, which is a 2-word answer with a total of 9 letters in that answer. Come on, Martin. Tina will get this one. Sure she will. Yep. Evening, Andrew, if you've just joined us. Tina's manipulating what? Oh, letters. Sorry, I thought she was manipulating. All you got to do is manipulate and get them in the right order, and then it all makes sense. Okay, anybody need any more time, or are we happy to go ahead with some marking? Quickly in the chat if you want a little bit more time. Right, Squeaky Pop need a bit more time, so we'll give them a bit more time. There's no problem with that at all. Obviously, if you can work the connection out to the end, you can then work them backwards. 1 minute, says Chidwell. Right, okay, 1 minute's fine. That's not particularly easy round, I have to say. Initial letter links never are. Nikki wants me to go. Don't let anybody catch them up. It's always a bit awkward in the pub, that is, when you handed your paper in and then suddenly the anagram comes to you in the head, stuff like that, and then unfortunately it's too late. So it appears in rugby, There are 2 pub quizzes now opened up. There's one on a Wednesday night up at the place in Bilton somewhere, but the Webb Ellis apparently doing a quiz tonight as well in rugby. But I just wonder how that will go down. I've no idea whether it's the right time to start doing quizzes in pubs. I don't know, but maybe a bit early, I think, but we'll see. Okay, then that's probably our minute up. So here we go. Here we go. Are we ready? These are the answers to the initial letter link. We started off the 2-word phrase that starts the titles of Roger Hargreaves' other series of books were Little Miss. Little Miss. That gave you an L, of course. Number 2, notice a swan is an anagram of Isaac Newton. Well done if you worked that out. Isaac's a difficult word in an anagram to get right. That gave you an I. Number 3, Tony Stark is the alter ego of Iron Man. That gave you another I. Number 4, the only James Bond film that has none of the letters from Ian Fleming in its title is Octopussy, apparently. Number 5, the fictional character I was after was Tarzan. I'm sure we all got that. Number 6, of all the letters in the Roman numerals, which comes last alphabetically? That's the letter X, of course. That might have given you the clue. Number 7, which company who makes yogurt? It was called Petit Filou. Petit Filou. Number 8, that band I was after were called Eternal. Eternal, well done if you got that. Very tricky one. Number 9, the most populated city, of course, in the country of Canada is Toronto. Well done, Toronto. You've come up with a question tonight. I hope you got that one. And finally, number 10, if you rearrange the first letter of the first 9 answers, you should end up with Pixie Lot. Pixie Lot. The X kind of gave it away a bit. But well done if you worked that out. Well done if you worked that out. And indeed, if you worked it out and you managed to work back and get a couple of those that you might not have got anyway. So let's have some scores in. We have the Rugby Rotary Club. Very good score with 28 points. Famous 5. Yet to drop a point. They're going for the lot tonight. So we'll see. Jen Coulson on 23 points. We've got Martin Davis, 27. Home Alone on 27. Jed and Tracy are on 25 points. Ian Miller's on 27. Nicky Bowers on 26. Harry Julian in on 28. Andrew Lewis on 23. Russ on 27. Squeaky Bob on 26. Mick Roberts on 21. And Anderson's on 23. Pick a Mixer on 28. We've got Michelle Gibbons on 25. Vanessa's on 24. Don Quixote are on 28. Grant Gifford and the gang are on 25. We've got Lisa Lasky, Team UK USA, a very respectable 28. The Ridgeways are lurking there or thereabouts on a fantastic 27 points. Alex Brown's on 26. PRS, they've yet to drop a point. 30 points. The Tweenies are on 23 points. Jill Pugh and Steve on 24 points. Great White, bollocks. What's that 5 foot? Even with Toronto. I like the language. Probably get barred off YouTube now, but never mind. 5.5, even with Toronto, 22.5. Never mind. Chili, it's the taking part that counts, isn't it? And the funny comments, I like that. Chili Willie and Joe, that was another 9 for them. That's on 26 points. Undergraduates on 15. Visiting rights over, now heading back to Norwich. Thanks, Nick. Well, thanks, Mark. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. You're back off tonight, I trust. So we've got Mike Yates on 20, Footy Fox 86 on 19 points. So we have a few teams out there that are yet to drop a point. We've got PRS. Right, wait a minute. Donna Brown, me and Matt are on 23. Great White, sorry. You don't have to be sorry. That was quite funny. Oh dear, oh dear. You could have said worse. So, out in the lead at the moment, we have Split the Difference on 29, PRS on 30. We have Team UK US on 28, Don Quixote 28. We've got Russ and the gang on 27. We've got Harry Julian Neal on 28, Ian Miller's on 27, Home Alone on 27, Martin Davis on 27, Famous 5 on 30. And the Rugby Rotary Club on 28 points. So it's all very close at the top there, somewhere between 27 to 30. You're still in well with a chance. Right, round number 4 is a music round. I know we all love a music round. I hate them generally. But never mind, I am getting better. Slowly but surely, I'm actually getting better. Never mind. You would have thought owning the music shop for years, I would have been better at music than reptiles. Right then, here we go then. Question number one. This is a tricky one to get again. Just needs a bit of lateral thinking. Not quite so easy from those people in the USA or maybe Toronto, unless you've been brought up in the UK. Here we go. Now age 84, and with the first real name, Alston, spelt Athelstan, Alston, who joined Stevie Wonder to sing Happy Birthday when he headlined the Glastonbury Festival in 2010, and then joined Coldplay to sing My Way when they headlined the festival in 2016. It's a two-word answer I'm after. So now aged 84 and with the first real name Alston, who joined Stevie Wonder to sing Happy Birthday when he headlined the Glastonbury Festival in 2010 and joined Coldplay to sing My Way when they headlined the festival in 2016. That's a bit of a daft one, but you might just think laterally with that one. Right, question number two. This one from Mick Roberts. Come on, Mick. I'm sure you get this. The musical Miss Saigon is based on which opera by Giacomo Puccini? So question number two again. The musical Miss Saigon is based on which opera by Giacomo Puccini? Question number three. I could sing you, but Matthew Blood would probably kill me, so I won't bother. Robin might come and strangle me. So question number three. In 1964, I Want to Be Your Man was the first song ever performed on the BBC TV show Top of the Pops. Which well-known group performed it? What, you don't want me singing either, Ian? God, blimey. I can remember this one. So 1964, I Want to Be Your Man was the first song ever performed on the BBC TV show Top of the Pops. Which well-known group performed it? Come on, all quizzers should know that one. Ooh. Question number four is a little trickier. Something you should know. With which instrument was jazz legend Charlie Bird Parker most associated? So with which instrument was jazz legend Charlie Bird Parker most associated? Nice one, Ian. Yes, perhaps they should have done, yeah. So you've clearly got that one then. Oh dear. George Michael should have covered that. I think he should have done. I want to be your... Yeah. Yeah, about fits that, doesn't it? Never mind. Question number five. Another one we should all know, really. Take from the titles of Marx Brothers films. Do I need to go any further? Which group recorded the 1970s albums A Night at the Opera and A Day at the Races? So taken from the titles of Marx Brothers films, which group recorded the 1970s albums A Night at the Opera and A Day at the Races? Come on, that was too easy, wasn't it? Well done, Martin. Come on, you're good at this. You're good at this. Yeah. As soon as I said marshmallows. That's right. That's the way it should be. Question number 6. What clothing brand connects the songs I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Martin Gaye, When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Slade? What? The wife's butting in there, she's putting me off. Just hang on a second. Sorry, I did pronounce that wrong. Let's start again. What clothing brand connects the songs I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye, When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge, Spaceman by Babylon Zoo, and Inside by Stiltskin? Joe says we're a bit shit at this. Oh dear. It's perhaps the music's perhaps a bit old for you, I have to say, but never mind. Oh dear. I always get out in the pub when we have a music round. We always get a kids team, I say kids team, team in their 20s and 30s. They've got no idea about music from the 60s, but never mind. Question 6 again. What clothing brand connects the songs I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye, When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge, Spaceman by Babylon Zoo, and Inside by Stiltskin? After a clothing brand, very popular. Excellent. Squeaky Bob says, my 26-year-old is helping us here. Good. Oh, she should know this one straight away. Question number 7, subtitled The Modern Guide to Music and More. Which music magazine was published for the final time in the July of 2020, 34 years after it was founded by presenters of the TV show The Old Grey Whistle Test, Mark Allen and David Hepworth? So question 7 again, subtitled The Modern Guide to Music and More. Which music magazine was published for the final time in the July of 2020, 34 years after it was founded by presenters of the TV show The Old Grey Whistle Test, Mark Allen and David Hepworth? Well, there's not many music magazines out there. I'm sure there are, but not well-known ones that have been going 30-odd years. So I'm sure you can have a guess at that if not. Question number 8, you can kind of have a guess at if you don't know it. See whether you know the lyrics, that's what it's all about. Question 8 again, right, to start with, here we go. Question number 8, in the lyrics of the Don McLean song American Pie, what month of the year made me shiver with every paper I'd deliver? Obviously it's cold month, so in the lyrics of the Don McLean song American Pie, what month of the year made me shiver with every paper I'd deliver? Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee. What's that? Shoot the quizmaster. Oh, I was just about to start singing then. Never mind. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. Right, question number 9. Stop. Okay, I've stopped. Robin, I've stopped. What? I could make a professional singer, you know. Question number 9. In musical notation, how many horizontal lines make up a stave? There's a good one for you. So in musical notation, how many horizontal lines make up a stave? Now, less of that chilly music's just died. No doubt more. Well done, Ian. I'm glad to see we got one on my side. Oh dear. I was a choir boy, I'd have, you know. Oh, yes. Years ago. Ooh, when I could sing falsetto properly. And finally, question 10 on this very dated music round, but one that will suit most of our quizzes. Graham Nash was a member of which famous band before he joined Crosby and Stills in 1968? So question 10 again. Graham Nash was a member of which famous band before he joined Crosby and Stills in 1968? Dark secret. What's the dark secret? I played the violin as well, and the piano. Oh, yes. Highly talented musician. Taught by none other than Martin Jackson, my mentor. Well, I sent him mental, I know. Hillary's just said, how old do you think we are? You know most of those. You know most of those, Hillary. Just have a stab at them, so to speak. We went up and stayed in Scarborough and stayed at this Airbnb, and this lady that was looking after us, or the host, should we say? Dean said it's good round. The host, she'd worked at Factory Records. Well, worked in a record shop anyway, but she'd seen lots of people from Factory Records, Manchester based, and she came from Manchester. Quite interesting story she was telling me. So she'd met a lot of people. Yeah. Anyway, let's. Do we need to repeat any of those, or are we happy to go ahead with some marking for all those that don't know any of the answers? There's going to be a number of teams that got all 10 of those, but never mind. Are we ready to go? Does anybody need any of those repeating, or are we happy? Do remember, they're all in the chat column, so it's pretty straightforward. Right, here we go then. Now aged 84, with the first real name, Alston. Apparently it was Michael Eavis. Michael Eavis. He was the guy that owned the farm originally. Michael Eavis. He headlined with Happy Birthday, because I think it was its 40th anniversary of Glastonbury or something. Somebody will correct me on that. It's probably the 30th or the 50th. Back in 2010, and then he joined Coldplay in 2016 on the stage. So that was Michael Eavis, the festival's founder. Number 2, Miss Saigon was based on Madame Butterfly. Number 3, I Want to Be Your Man was the first song on the BBC in 1964. Top of the pops by the Rolling Stones, of course. The Rolling Stones, that is one all quizzes need to know that one. Number 4, Charlie Bird Parker, of course, is most associated with the saxophone. Number 5, taken from the titles of Marx Brothers films, A Night at the Opera and A Day at the Races. I'm sure nobody would have got that wrong. That was Queen, of course. A Night at the Opera, A Day at the Races. Number 6, the clothing brand I was after, that was connected by those 4 bands or artists, were Levi's, as in Levi Strauss. Number 7 was Q magazine. It was known as Q magazine, which actually only finished production last month. Number 8, Don McLean, of course. What month of the year made me shiver with every paper I deliver? February. February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Sorry. Number 9, the musical notation. How many horizontal lines make the stave? That's 5. And Graham Nash was a member of the Hollies, of course. The Hollies, before he joined Crosby, Stills and became Crosby, Stills and Nash. Right then, let's see how you fared after that round. Bit tricky if you're under 50. Never mind, you should have got some of those. Right then, let's see how you fared. Then let's have some scores in, and we will see. Right, Rugby Road Club, very respectable, 37. Harry, Julian, Ian also on 37. Ian Miller, 36 points. Well done, Ian. We've got Jed and Tracy on 33. Mick Roberts on 26. That didn't suit Mick, did it? Never mind, Mick. We've got 36 for Squeaky Bob. Famous Fiver on 37 points. Grant Givens on 32. We've got Crash and Burn on. Martin Davis, 33. Chili Williams on 34. We've got Ann Anderson on 29. Andrew Lewis is on 27. Russ and the gang are on 35, so not that bad. Michelle Gibbons on 32. Don Quixote on 38 points. Anthony Ridgway's on 33. Home Alone 6 on 34 points. Didn't suit them quite so much. Can I have a pint of what you're drinking? You can do, but how I'll get it to you, I'm not sure. Vanessa's on 32. The Twins are on 31. Pigamix are on 36. That's a good score. Jill Pugh, we're too young. They're on 28 points. Nicky Bowers on 33. Alex Brown's on 31. Great White, 29.5. That was a bad from Torture. Oh, dear. That was a round from Torture for them. Oh, dear, on 29 points. Split the Difference on 38 points. PRS also on 38 points. Any other scores we got in there? So we've got a few people drop the odd point there. We got any more scores to come in before we? Yes, Quizzy Rascals aren't in, but they did Wednesday night's quiz, didn't they? They don't tend to do the cracking round for me. Yes, well done, Ian. Right, so we've got PRS on 38. We've got Split the Difference on 38. We got Don Quixote 38. We've got the Famous Five 37. We've got Harry, Julian, Ian on 37, and the Rugby Roti Club on 37. So it couldn't get much closer than that. And I've got plenty of others on 36s, 35s, and 34. So all hang in there. Round number 5 tonight is a geography round. Very straightforward geography round. Nothing too taxing on this one, I don't think. We'll see how you fare. Of course, it's the last round that's going to catch you all out with a few tricky ones. Oh, Pigamix have come out. I don't know. Sorry, yes, we've got a few 36s from Lisa. Team UK USA on 36 points. That's a cracking score as well. Come on, then. It's going to be very close on this. I can see it coming. There's quite a few 36s. Well within the interesting zone there. Right, here we go then. Question number 1. This might be tricky for you US and Toronto people, but never mind. St Mary's, St Martin's, St Agnes, and Tresco are all part of which island group? Come on, Mick Roberts, it's time you caught up now. St Mary's, St Martin's, St Agnes, and Tresco are all part of which island group? Question number 2. There are 13 stripes on the American flag representing the 13 British colonies that declared independence from the United Kingdom. But how many white stripes do you find on that flag? It's quite easy to work that out, really. So, question number 2, there are 13 stripes on the American flag representing the 13 British colonies that declared independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. But how many white stripes do you find on the flag? Question number 3, if you know a bit of Latin, you should be able to get this one. Which South American country's name, ultimately derived from the Latin, translates as Land of Silver? Land of Silver. So which South American country's name, ultimately derived from the Latin, translates as Land of Silver? How many have we got doing it now, Ange? Was Aldi enjoying it? Yes, thanks, Ian, for your hospitality of lending us your flat last night. It was very kind of you. We enjoyed our stay there. I was going to make it up last night, but we had the car charge plugged in straight into your house, and the meter was going around at some fast rate. The lead wasn't long enough. Otherwise, I might have tried. But never mind. Right, question number 4. Which 2 European countries have a coastline on the Bay of Biscay? Come on, get easy on that. So which 2 European countries have a coastline on the Bay of Biscay? So, Kevin from the Rugby Rotary Club, you haven't told me whether John Levis is taking part or not. I need to find that. What did I do with that crossword every day? Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah. It's the crossword I did, by the way. It's correct. Just I didn't put it in. It was too late. 21 down. The solid state of what's between G to P. Solid state I took as IC, as in integrated circuit. And I got the answer as ice, but I could not work out what the second part was. Anyway, enough of that. Question number 5. In which range of hills would you find Cross Fell, the highest point in England outside of the Lake District? So question 5 again. In which range of hills would you find Cross Fell, the highest point in England outside of the Lake District? So he is taking part, is he? Just ask him what that meant. 21 down in last month's quiz. Not last month. The solid state of what's between G to P. Question number 6. On which island in the Northern Caribbean would you find the US naval base, Guantanamo Bay? So question 6. On which island in the North Caribbean would you find the US naval base, Guantanamo Bay? Sounds like a bit of thunder, but it's not thunder. Yeah, it's a plane. We were just debating whether it was thunder, but it's not thunder. I think it's a plane going over our house. Question number 7. Listen carefully. In which English county are you never more than 8.5 miles from the M4? So in which English county are you never more than 8.5 miles from the M4? Yes, Ian, I had a pint of Timmy Taylor's the other day. Where were we, Andrew? We had a Timmy Taylor's. Yes, we were in Tadcaster. Thankfully, we didn't have John Smith. No, we came off the motorway. Went into this Leeds United supporters club, apparently. Was this in last week's quiz? No. Possibly. I'm not denying the fact, but you should know the answer then, Leslie. It was. Damn! I've repeated a question. Oh, dear God. Never mind. So, in which English county are never more than 8.5 miles from the M4? I missed last week. Damn. It was Wednesday's quiz, was it? Yes, it won't kill Blunt. Right, okay. I need to hang on. Whilst you're all on, I'm going to red flag that to make sure it doesn't come up again. Yeah, possibly. Maybe I just... Question number 8. This is a bit of a long-winded one, but never mind. Yes, it could have been on Wednesday. I don't know. Question number 8. Resulting in the retention of its current design, a referendum in 2016 asked the people of which country if they would prefer their national flag to be be replaced by a new design that featured a silver fern instead of the Union Jack. So, resulting in the retention of its current design, a referendum in 2016 asked the people of which country if they would prefer their national flag to be replaced by a new design that featured a silver fern instead of the Union Jack. What causes loss of short-term memory? Beer. Yeah, that's true. Old-timers. Squeaky Bob says, I didn't hear it. Was it on Wednesday? Yeah, I'm with you, Squeaky Bob. I'm sure. Surely not. I couldn't have repeated the question. We are on our 36th quiz, I suppose, so it's a bit tricky not to repeat a question. But I did tell everybody I was proud not to have repeated one question, but never mind. Question number 9. Cagliari is the capital of which island, which is the second largest in the Mediterranean? So Cagliari is the capital of which island, which is the second largest in the Mediterranean? I did check the pronunciation on that, so don't try and correct me. Well, you could do. I could say it in the correct language, I suppose. Place I've never been to, but I'm sure it must be good. Been past it in my boat. Going question number 10, again helping foreign teams out on this mission. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the tallest freestanding structure in the world. But what is the tallest freestanding structure in the Western Hemisphere? Lexicology, there's a good one. It is the study of flags. Well done, Stuart. I'm going to test you with one in a minute, though, Stuart, so don't... The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the tallest freestanding structure in the world. Well, what is the tallest freestanding structure in the Western Hemisphere? I presume that means from Greenwich backwards somewhere. Right, there's your 10 geography questions. Let's all see how you've all fared with those. Nothing too testing in there, except obviously the one that I only asked on Wednesday for two teams that haven't got it before, but never mind. Nikki Boas, she just said, what boat? Well, I used to be in the Merchant Navy years ago, long time ago, Nikki. So I used to plough my way through the Mediterranean occasionally, from Suez through to whatever. Must have passed it at one time or another. Right then, everybody, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure most of you should have some answers for that lot. Not the kind of thing we need a lot of debate or have to work back over. So let us do some marking and see how we fared after that round. So question number 1, St Mary, St Martin, St Agnes and Tresco are all part of which island group? That was the Isles of Scilly. The Isles of Scilly, so I don't know if you got that. There are 13 stripes on the American flag representing 13 British colonies. How many white stripes are there? Well, there were 6 white stripes. There are 7 red stripes. Something like that. Number 3, land of silver. Of course, silver is Argentium or whatever in Latin. So Argentina was what I was after. Argentina. 2 European countries with the coastline of the Bay of Biscay, France and Spain. Number 5, Crossfell is found in the Pennines. Well done if you got that. Number 6, Guantanamo Naval Base is in fact in Cuba. Well done if you worked that one out. Number 7, is Berkshire. Berkshire, of course, you are never more than 8.5 miles from the M4. I'm sorry if I had that on Wednesday, but never mind. Gives you a chance to get one right. Resulting in the retention of its current design. Of course, it was New Zealand that had that referendum about replacing the Union Jack, the silver fern. Stupid idea that was. Number 9, Cagliari is the capital of which island? Second largest in the Mediterranean. That's Sardinia. Sardinia. Well done if you got that. A little bit tricky. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the tallest freestanding structure in the world. What is the tallest freestanding structure in the Western Hemisphere? That's the CN Tower in sunny Toronto. Sunny Toronto. 2 for our Toronto team. In fact, 2 Toronto answers tonight. So well done if you got that, and I'm sure they did in sunny Toronto. Because there it should be. Ooh, what's the time in sunny Toronto? It'll be about 3 in the afternoon, will it? No, something like that. Right. Jed and Tracy on a magnificent 42 points out of a possible 50. That's some good going. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Still within shouting distance. Michelle's on 42. We've got the famous 5. Very good round. 47 points. Ian Miller's on 45. Squeaky Bob's on 45. The Tweenies are on 40 points. Andrew Lewis is on 35. Great White. Thanks for the nod. 39.5 points. Jill Pew's on 36. And Steve, we've got Chilly Willie and Joe on 41.5. Harry, Julie, and Ian on a very respectable 47. Grant Gifford only 40, but that's still ahead of Steve Pugh and the gang. Nicky Bowers on 39. Don Quizzoti's on 47 points. That's very good. Home Alone on 42.5 points. Coming up from the rear, so to speak. We have Martin Datt. The decline continues on 40 points. Me and Matt, Donna Brown. Me and Matt on 37. Pick and Mix on 44. That's a very respectable score. The Rugby Roach Club are on 47. We've got Anne Anderson. Anne Anderson on 36. Well played, you. Split the difference on 47. Anthony Ridge around the Ridge Riser on 40. Russ and the gang from Worcester on 43 points. We've got Vanessa on 38 points. PRS are on 48 points. So let's have a look at the scores as we get down. We've got PRS 48. Split the difference 47. Rugby Roach Club 47. Don Quizzote 47. Harry Julian Ian 47. Famous 5 47. All this is looking close, everybody. This is looking close. Have we got any more? We still kick ass when it comes to pointless things. Well, that's fair enough. Oh, we got Team UK USA on 43 points. Mike Yates on 32 points. Well, be pleased to know the last round tonight is just general trivia. Oh, and Alex Brown on 39 points. I think if you're on the 40s, you could still stand a chance of winning. So stick in there, everybody that's on 40 points, because the last round was designed to try and catch a few teams out, especially those that scored 60 last week, out of 60. At least they haven't done that this week, so let's see where we go. Chilly Willie and Joe not at the races today. It's a shame. Never mind, Chilly. Let's stick in there for the last round and see how it goes. So we've got say 5 teams. Split the difference. Rugby Rotary Club. Harry Julian Ian. Famous 5. They're all vying for, at the moment, on 47 points, they're all vying for first place. So here we go then. General trivia. It's a tricky anagram tonight. My wife loves these. Good long one, this one. Let, L-E-T, shivery, pots, inject autumn ale. Something to do with autumn ale. So let shivery pots inject autumn ale. My daughter will put the question down for you. And your clue tonight is there are things that orbit the sun. Things that orbit the sun. 4 things that orbit the sun. So she puts the question down, you'll be able to see it and see whether you can come up with 4 things that orbit the sun. That's going to take some working out, but never mind. I will give you half a point if you can manage 3. That's fair. In fact, it's going to take so much time to do that for you. I need to go to the loo. I'm coming back. I'll put my pint of beer just so you can watch that for a second. Oh, bother. It's not big enough. Never mind. I'll be back. Right, before everybody runs off. Oh, sorry about that. What's that? Are you taking? But no. I was just sorting the beer out. Yes, I needed a quick comfort break, should we say? But never mind. Right, so I trust you've worked out those 4 tricky things that orbit the sun. Wife's got 2. The wife's got 2 by the looks of things. So you've got to start looking at the other. No, it's not 1 point for each. It's ridiculous, Martin. Have you got them all already? Half a point if you can get 3. Full point if you can get all 4. That is a tricky one, but never mind. Something I'm sure you'll all work out. Yes, I just said to Martin. It's a point if you can get all 4, Martin. Can't give you a point for each, for heaven's sake. It's 2 or 3, which is far too easy. Right, you can come back and see whether you can finish that off. I'll give you some time at the end. My hedgehogs are waiting had 3 last night. Fantastic. We can nip out there quick while I. Right, question number 2. Which nation has won more gold medals than any other in the history of the Commonwealth Games? So, which nation has won more gold medals than any other in the history of the Commonwealth Games? Question number 3. This one's just for Stuart Cooper, of course. Going on about his vexillologists. Question number 3. What exciting items would you be collecting and or studying if you were a dedicated timbrologist? So what exciting items would you be collecting or studying if you were a dedicated timbrologist? Bit of an archaic term now, but never mind. Question number 4. The Tabard Inn which was established apparently way back in 1307, was the starting point for an annual pilgrimage to where? So question 4 again, the Tabard Inn, which apparently was established way back in 1307, was the starting point for an annual pilgrimage to where? How you doing with that tricky anagram then, everybody? We need more R's. R. Oh dear. Right, question number 5. Stick with the quiz. Don't worry too much about that. And use R's and use. Question number 5. Listen carefully and stick with the quiz. What is the only property on the Monopoly ball that contains all of the letters in the word Monopoly? Now, we have had that before, but maybe not in the last 36 quizzes. So what is the only property on the Monopoly board that contains all of the letters in the word Monopoly? And that is a 2-word answer, just to help you out a bit. My wife's running out of bits of paper. I did say this was a testing round to try and catch you out. Need a brain. We all need a brain. Who did need a brain? Was that the Tin Man, wasn't it? Was it the Tin Man that needed a brain? I can't remember. The lion needed a heart. Oh, he's going off to feed the hedgehogs. I don't blame him. What do you give him? A bit of tin of cat meat, I suppose. I think they're quite partial, aren't they, to cat food, I think. Hedgehogs. I don't know if dogs and cats eat the same. Do dogs and cats eat the same food? Not having dogs or cats, I wouldn't know. But I mean, do they eat the same thing? Or yeah, the lion needed courage. It was the Tin Man that needed a brain, wasn't it? Or did he need a heart? It was the scarecrow. Was it the scarecrow that needed the brain? Maybe. Question number 6. Now stick with the quiz. Stop trying to work something else out. Question number 6. What did Marilyn Monroe famously say was the only thing she wore in bed? Was the scarecrow? Well done, Vanessa. I think it was the scarecrow that needed the brain, wasn't it? So question 6. What did Marilyn Monroe famously say was the only thing she wore in bed? You're still trying to work out that anagram at the beginning. Unusual. Things that go around the sun. All or none of the letters. Now, question 5. All or none of the letters. Yeah, I'll read number 5 again. Chili, listen carefully. What is the only property on the Monopoly board that contains all of the letters in the word Monopoly? And it's a 2-word answer. Ian's back after feeding them. I was just saying, Ian, do you feed them cat food, dog food, or do you feed them Sunday dinner? It'd be interesting to know what you actually feed them. Another interesting question, is there really actually any difference between dog food and cat food? I know cats apparently like fish. I don't know. Morsels and kitten biscuits. Right then, question number 7. This is a tough one. These are all tough in this round, but never mind. Let's see how you can go over this one. Possibly related to a viral infection or a genetic condition, Paget's disease affects what part of the human body? That's not an easy one. So, possibly related to a viral infection or a genetic condition, Paget's disease affects which part of the human body? Come on, we've got to have a doctor in there somewhere, surely. One of you has got to be a doctor. No, Robin, I don't have a pet dog or a pet cat, but I just wonder whether you feed them with the same stuff. I'm not sure. Surely, Butcher's? What's the place down on the A45? I can't remember. Not the Laughing Dog. What was it called? Pedigree, Chum or whatever. I don't know. Is it the Laughing Dog? God knows. It's gone. What's gone? The brain. Question number 8 is a good old question, this one. Pretty straightforward. Don't make too much of it. In total, how many different scoring zones are there on a standard dartboard? So these are the individual scoring zones. So in total, how many different scoring zones are there on a standard dartboard? So in other words, if you were to throw as many darts as you could, and they all landed in an individual space, how many spaces would there be? Has Laughing Dog gone? Oh, fair play. Maybe it has. Yes, I don't think it is still there now, actually, but never mind. Oh, this is a tough round. I think I only put a tough round in because one team got 60 points last week, and I thought, oh, well, I better make it a bit tougher because it was too easy last week. However, we've got 5 teams tonight, all vying for top place. So let's see if this will catch a few of you out. We'll see. Question number 9. That's a bit of a straightforward question, this. I'm sure you'll all get this. Pandora Braithwaite was the girlfriend of which eponymous literary character? So question number 9, pretty straightforward. Pandora Braithwaite was the girlfriend of which eponymous literary character? 2-word answer I'm after for that one. Well, it looks like the weather's going to get good again for next weekend. I was looking earlier, and we might be back up to 30 degrees by Friday, Saturday next week. So my only advice after going to Whitby and to whatever, just don't go to the seaside. Appears that everybody just suddenly gets there. Go hill walking, that's what I say. Go somewhere different, you know. Inland's probably your best bet. Somewhere remote. Go to Scotland. Go up Loch Shine or some old Shin. That was pretty remote, as I recall. Right then, the last question of tonight's quiz. I hope you're still working on that first one, that anagram. Worked out all your revolving, orbiting things. Question number 10, beginning with the letter M. What is the 4th largest US state by area? It is also apparently illegal to have a sheep in the cab of your truck without a chaperone. Yeah, it's dark outside now, Nicky. So beginning with the letter M, what is the 4th largest US state by area? It is also apparently illegal to have a sheep in the cab of your truck without a chaperone. Local law in the US have plenty of very strange US laws. Right, that is the quiz tonight, so we'll see how you've all fared in a minute. How much more time do we need? There's a little bit more for that anagram, I think. Work that out. The others are a bit tricky, but so fair. Does anybody need any extra time, or should we just go straight to marking and be done with it? Oh, yes. Come back. Yes, we need a bit more time. Nobody seems to know whether there's any difference between cat food or can see two hedgehogs. Excellent. Well done, Ian. They're not still pink, are they? Or are you giving them four things? You seem to have all the hedgehogs around your way, don't you? Fantastic. You've had hedgehogs every Sunday night for the last, well, certainly the last 10 weeks, I think. You do very well for hedgehogs. Right then, I'm going to give you all a minute now on my counter, and then we will do some marking. Thanks for a delicious dinner. Right, the counter's on there. You've got exactly a minute to formulate your answers, get them all down. If you don't know, have a guess at something, see how you fare. Okay. Remember the anagram, I was after four things that may orbit the sun. Question number 2 was the name of the which nations won more gold medals than any other in history for the Commonwealth Games. Number 3, timbrologist, an exciting item to be collecting. Number 4, the Tabard Inn, basically the starting point for which pilgrimage. Number 5, what's the only property on the Monopoly board that contains all the letters of the word Monopoly? Number 6, what did Marilyn Monroe famously say was the only thing she wore in bed? You could have the anagram at the start of the quiz. I do put it at the start of the round, Ian, to be fair. And you have been out feeding hedgehogs. Could have asked them, see whether they got any idea. Possibly rate of viral infection or a genetic condition. Paget's disease affects what part of the body? Number 8, in total, how many different scoring zones? I want to understand the dartboard. Number 9, Pandora Braithwaite was the girlfriend of which eponymous literary character? And finally, number 10, of course, was beginning with the letter M. What is the 4th largest US state by area? It's also apparently illegal to have a sheep in the cab of your truck without a chaperone, whatever that means. But mine, right, that's it. You've had your minute. So here's some marking. Are we ready? Eyes down, look in. Right. The tricky anagram tonight, let shivery pots inject automail. There were 4 things that revolve around the sun. First off was Halley's Comet. Second was Venus. Third was Jupiter. And fourth was Titan, which of course is a satellite, one of the others, but it does, of course, orbit the sun. Number 2, I was after the nation that's won more gold medals, of course, was Australia. Number 3, a timbrologist collects stamps. It's a stamp collector. I know we know them as philatelists, but they used to be known as timbrologists. Well done if you got that. Number 4, the Tabard Inn was the starting point of the pilgrimage to the shrine of Thomas à Becket at Canterbury Cathedral. So something to do with that. It was the starting point of the pilgrimage to the shrine of Thomas à Becket. Number 5, what is the only property on the Monopoly board that contains all of the letters of the word Monopoly? That's the electric company. Number 6, Marilyn Monroe famously said that the only thing she wore in bed was Chanel number 5. Number 7, Paget's disease affects the bones. Well done if you got that, because that was a tricky one. Number 8, there are 82 different scoring zones on a standard dartboard. Number 9, Pandora Braithwaite was the girlfriend of Adrian Mole. And finally, number 10, I was after Montana, the state of Montana. So well done if you got that. Now, I'm not expecting anybody to get all points on that round, but we'll see. I was going to give you a point, half a point if you could get 3 out of the 4 for the anagram at the beginning. So let's have some scores in, and we'll see who the winners or the losers have been tonight, so to speak. But to be fair, we've got 4 or 5 teams that all deserve credit because they've all been there or thereabouts all night long. And we'll see who tonight's winners are or not. So we've got Vanessa with 44. Rugby Rotary Club first in with a top score of 55 points. That's them going. Anthony Ridgway 48. Jill Pugh 48. We've got Nick Roberts 45. The famous 5 are on 54.5. That's a great score as well. They were picked by the Rugby Rotary Club by the looks of things. Andrew Lewis on 41. Martin Davis on 44.5. The Twinnies on 46. Nicky Bowers, we crashed on 41. Graham Gifford, 47.5. Don Quixote, 55 points, equal with the Rugby Rotary Club. Alex Brown on 44. Michelle Gibbons, 49. Some good brain teasers there tonight. Yes, you're right. Jen and Tracy on 50.5. Squeaky Bomb, 52.5. That's a great score. We've now got Harry, Julian, Ian on 55.5 points. Split the difference on 57 points. Well played them. We have Russ and the gang on 47.5 points. Well done, Stephen Gill. Pick a Mixer on 49.5. Great White, 47. Excellent stuff, crap score. We've got Team USA, whatever, on 50.5. Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6 on 48.5. This is getting harder each week. Well, not necessarily. It was perhaps hard tonight. Well done to you high scorers. Ian Miller was on 51 points. Ian Anderson, 42.5 points. So come on, we've got 1 or 2 scores to come in yet. PRS are on 55.5 points. Well played. Then Mike Yates on 37 points. Well played. Mike, some going. Nicky Bowers, that was a crummy round. That was a tough round, that was. But never mind, Nicky. I can make it a lot easier next week. We'll see. If I'd have known that, thanks, Graham. Thank you for taking part, and thanks, Nicky, for you taking part. I know it was a bit of a tough round, that last one. That was really to just sort out a few people out. If I'd have known that it was that close, I would have made it a bit easier, but never mind. What's that? Yeah, I think. Yeah. I'm waiting for all the scores to come in yet. So let's just have a look. We have, I think, tonight, PRS on 55.5 points. We have Harry, Julian, Ian on 55.5 points. We also have Rugby Rotary Club on 55 points. We have Don Quixote on 55 points, and we have the famous 5 on 54.5 points. So realistically, it's between all those, but anybody in the 50s has done really well. Tonight's winners by just 1.5 points in the end. We'll split the difference. Well played them on 57 points. That's a cracking score. I don't know if they got the entire anagram, but maybe they did. And yeah, good fun. And thanks everybody for taking part tonight. We'll see who wants to come and join us on Wednesday night for another exciting quiz. I'll see what I can arrange for Wednesday night. Whether we want such a tricky last round, I don't know, but it's a bit tricky because last week I hadn't put such a tricky last round, and we needed one, and this week we didn't necessarily need one, but never mind. It's one of those things, isn't it? Anyway, if you're out and about next week, certainly on Wednesday, do feel free to come and join us. Wednesday nights are proving quite popular as well, and we get some good scores from good teams, and it keeps you all entertained. So good night, John. Thank you very much for your support tonight, and Michelle, thank you very much, and you, Mike, Squeaky Bob, Martin Davis, Nicky Bowers, Ian Miller, thank you very much. Chilly Willie and Joe, thank you very much. Graham Gifford and Steve and Jill, thank you for Gerard, well done you. All our friends in Worcester, all our friends, of course, well done the Ridgeways, well done Matthew, especially if you were poles apart tonight, but never mind, you did well. Did you Zoom each other? I don't know, or did you send each other the answers maybe you did. But thanks for all our teams that have taken part tonight from all over the country. It's been really great to have your support, and we will look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night, same time, 8:45, with again 6 rounds of tricky trivia. Most of our top teams are kind of getting within 3 or 4 points of the win. So, what the hell? Semaphore. There's a good one. Vexicology. We could have flags, and semaphore can be paddles or all sorts of things. Semaphore. Anybody else want any specific rounds or any specific questions they might like? We did have a round on music type, maybe a bit too old. We could perhaps have music from the this year, maybe. Rappers of this year or something like that. No? No, I don't think I go down too well. Anyway, good night all, and thank you all for taking part, and we'll look forward to seeing some of you on Wednesday, and if not, do come and join us next week on Sunday night. So signing out now, and good night all, and thank you very much all for taking part in tonight's quiz. Cheers. Good night all. Thanks. Thanks, Ian.